Good morning, it's Brian here. You are on a very special episode of the Art of Startup War. Now, here's why this is such a treat, because we got some of the most incredible entrepreneurs on the planet here. Of course, I'm biased because we've invested in these companies and we love these companies and we believe these companies are going to grow to be billion-dollar companies. That's the only reason we put money in. The nice thing for everybody listening is that you're speaking to a company, a person that is not a promoter. We are investors. So these are companies that we are literally putting our dollars into, not just saying that we think they're going to be really good. And today's going to be fun. We're going to go through like 45 minutes, and everything is about giving you a little bit of an introduction to the companies, letting you see the market size and just what a huge opportunity they have over like 30, 60 seconds. And then we're going to just talk in a fun way. Like, I can beat that. So I have something incredible that's happening right now. And we're going to go backwards and forwards between folks on who's got really good, incredible things to do. At the beginning, I will call people out to say it. And then everybody, when they've got something awesome to say, which is that I think maybe I can do better than that, throw a hand up. I'll grab you up on the screen and then you come up next. And then we're going to go through folks all the way through. If people don't jump up, well, I will probably call them out for something that they can do better, because everybody here I know really well, and I know like all of the incredible things that they're doing. So that's it. So we have here today, we have one, two, three, four, five, six of the most incredible companies that you will ever come across in your life. And we're going to go through them one by one. I think if we start off, Kirill, you want to kick us out? Give us 30 or 60, give us 60 seconds. Talk about EV Trip. Tell us everything that's going on with EV Trip. But more importantly, for everybody listening, make sure they have an introduction as to what the value proposition is.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks, guys. So my name is Kirill. I'm CEO and co-founder of EVTrip. EVTrip is a technology company that makes your energy smart. And we're working on a smart electrical vehicle charging technology, smart energy services, and everything around that. So as you know, electrical vehicles are heading towards conquering the mobility world. So we are in a very, very large market, very fast growing market, and we are the brain of that market. So what we actually do, we are developing systems and electronics, so hardware, firmware, software, to make your electrical vehicle charger smart, to charge electrical vehicles in a smart way, help the grid to balance all of that power, which will be turned from fuel, benzene, and diesel into the electricity. We also work on with the solar panels, heat pumps, battery banks, and make it super smart and super user-friendly. Recently, we have made few signature contracts.
Hold those contracts. Hold those contracts, because I'm going to bring those up afterwards. I will say, if timing is everything in a company, then EV Trip is on maybe the most perfect timing there's ever been. Because if you look at how energy and electric energy, especially for the cars and everything that were developed, it was the most bizarre thing that ever happened, because they literally built all of these electric cars with no grid and no ecosystem and no infrastructure. And then the infrastructure had to follow because there was no choice, because everything else got thrown away. And now those who can come up with the smart grids, the smart ecosystems, the smart chargers that can be built on top of that win, and there's a race for it. So your timing is perfect. It's awesome. And we're going to hear from you in a couple of moments to hear about like all of the incredible contracts and wonderful things that are happening. Actually, you'll be first up. Katya, share with us what's happening with you.
Absolutely, I'd love to. Hi, everyone. Katya Kempis, CEO and founder of Viveka. We're in the future of workspace. We're a B2B triple SaaS platform underpinned by a marketplace, really helping companies centralize and automate their skilling, training, and well-being. Why is that so important? We'll just talk to any professional service company right now. They're all struggling with A, retention, and B, struggling, retention of top talent, to be accurate, because of all the layoffs happening right now, and of course with productivity. And what are people asking for? They're asking to be invested in their well-being, they're asking for purpose at work, and they're also asking for learning and development, to be invested in them personally. So that's what we're solving. We've got some really great updates. Brian, do you want me to talk about them now?
No, I want to hold those bad boys until afterwards. And I know we've got a ton of really great things that are happening in your world. And again, exactly the same. Like if timing is everything, and this is a huge thing for us in Expert Dojo, is to find like phenomenal entrepreneurs, obviously with great products, but the timing, we want to be just very, very special. And organizations have never had such turbulent times. It's actually really, really, really hard right now. Previously, I would say for the previous 60 years, it was easy. You had all these folks, they're all in your building, they're all sitting in front of you. You'll play with some homework and some wherever, and some folks might be just some mobile working, but you control everything. And then COVID came, and then everything changed. And now organizations literally don't know what to do. The employees don't want to come back. The organizations don't know how to control them out there. The training is all over the place because it was all for the 1940s. And now it's about how do you have a platform that actually solves all of those problems for employers, and that's what Viveka does. So
What we do.
awesome to have you
Thank you,
here.
Brian.
Okay, we will get the updates afterwards. Thank you, Sam.
Hi, so I'm Sam, CEO of Axel AI, and our software makes media smarter. It essentially helps teams that shoot and edit a lot of video to get a lot more content out on social media or out into whatever channels uh, they produce it for. We are profitable at this point, growing, and have hundreds of customers worldwide, including some really prestigious ones.
Yeah, and it's great. And I always find when I'm chatting with you, like you're like the nicest guy in the world and the most humble because it does so much more than that. Like if I go to like the pain point that the editors, just not even editors, like everybody, video has eaten the world for breakfast. Like it's just become everything. And it seems like every time we think it's impossible for video to become any bigger, it becomes like 3 times bigger. And I read about YouTube shorts, and we've seen what's happened with TikTok. And it's not even a business anymore. It's business, it's consumer, it's everything. Like I don't know where the cloud is, but I cannot imagine it's big enough to take all of the video that's out there right now. So then it becomes the problem of like, how the heck do we find stuff in these videos anywhere? Like, how do we store them? How do we know what video is where? How do we know what part of what video is where? Like, even silly things like me saying, gosh, I'd love to remember the time when myself and Liam, my boy, when we were doing the thing over in the place about the other thing that I didn't know that I was going to do at the time. I was like, well, I don't know where that is. But with your editing software, I can literally find specific moments of happiness throughout the last 10 years. Like, how
That is true.
beautiful is this? And this is unbelievably hard. And I challenge anybody listening to be able to do it on anything you have for any of the videos you've ever had. I don't care if you're in a business, if you're at home. And don't worry if you can't solve this yourself, because some of the largest companies in the world that are now Axel AI's customers also couldn't solve it until they knew Axel AI, right? Am I wrong? I'm not wrong.
Not at all.
No. Okay, awesome. And
Yeah.
again, you got great good news, which we're going to come in with for a second. Maria,
Yep.
hey, buddy. What's going on with Black Copper?
Hi. Hi, everyone. My name is Muiwa. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Black Copper. We're powering business growth in emerging markets, starting with Nigeria and taking it to the rest of the world. We have built out a credit-led digital bank that uses alternate data to be able to provide instant working capital to small business owners in Nigeria today. We already have well over 200,000 of these guys, done over $4.5 million in loans, and we want to continue to do that and triple that over the next year.
By the way, that's how you pitch. I'm just saying, like that's how you pitch. Because like my eyes automatically went to the screen. It keeps going to the screen whenever I see Maria. I'm like, I'm a footballer. That's cool. I love Arsenal, but I'm like, but I like him anyway. Like I don't mind that he loves Arsenal. It's okay. Like we've all got our cross to bear. But then we go to like the 4.5 million that you've done, the tens and tens of thousands of people that you're supporting right now. And more importantly, you mentioned a couple of words which are super key, right? Number one, Africa. Number two, small business. Number three, being able to give them the resources that they needed to be able to grow. So we have the fastest growing population on the planet. We're like, normally you'd be like, yeah, a billion's pretty cool. Forget about a billion. This is going to become 25% of the entire world population. And these businesses are expanding all over the world and all over Africa. America, and there is not a financial infrastructure for them to be able to do it. There is an absolute renaissance that is happening right now, which is going to create the financial institutions of the next 50 years. And they're going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years. And the only thing that you should be looking at if you're an investor are the people who are executing right now. And Black Copper are executing on an extreme level. So, yeah, mate, you're killing it. Save some of the good stats for the second part, though, will you? Because we want to use those when we're like, I can do better than that. But yeah, you're killing it. Great to have you in. I love this. This is so awesome. I had to be around with just awesome, incredible people who we've invested in. Oh, it's so good. Okay, Sam, come on up.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sam Ponabellum. I'm the CEO and co-founder of ExaHive. We're a cybersecurity company. It's predominantly SaaS. So we offer secure communications. It's endpoint encrypted both at transit and at rest. The big differentiator between us and our competitors is that we never put our encryption keys on the server. So we're really excited to be partnered with some of the biggest uh, global tech companies such as IBM, Red Hat, and BlackBerry. And I'll go into some of
Hold
the other
that.
contracts
Hold that.
later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't give that. Don't give that. That's all you good stuff. But look, so again, I'm going to break it down from me because like I like to break everything down to like the smallest Irish component, which brings it nicely home for me. So the world is bad. There's plenty of people trying to break in. Nobody's stopping them right now. It's getting worse. And the problem is, all of the large and small organizations around the world who are trying to protect their data, is physically impossible to do so because people aren't breaking into the places that they've got secure. They're breaking in to the communication channels. It's the easiest piece, right? Because it's the stuff that's going really fast, lots of data, everything passing all over the place, and they're not being protected. And you think your email's being protected, God bless you. You should just, have some nursery rhymes when you go to sleep because they're the same stories that you're telling yourself. You feel that maybe like your WhatsApp is encrypted and you're safe there. Yeah, your WhatsApp's in trouble as well. Like all of them, your phone, your text, your WhatsApp, your email, all of them are equally evil channels which are bringing these bad people into your organizations to take whatever the heck that they want to take. So you got really strong, deep domain educated people who have worked for local government, ministry, within cybersecurity, who have built a solution that works and already has huge companies that are using it and paying for it today. Again, I'm not wrong. And for anybody listening, you may be thinking like, why did you know these folks so well? Yeah, I know them so well because like I love these companies because we've invested in these companies. We invested with our money because we believe they're going to make a ton of money, not just for us, not just for themselves, but for all of their investors and for their future investors as well. These are really, really big problems that need to be solved out there and are being solved. So awesome, Sam. And I know you got some great news and some great things that are happening as well.
Thank
Perfect.
you.
Tamsil. Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Been a little while.
Brian, it's so amazing to connect again, and it's so amazing to be here. And hello, everyone. I'm the founder and CEO of Plug TV. People like us create TV. We're a B2B2C creator economy platform, but with a bit of a twist. If you look at the world, it's all about the 0.01% of creators who are basically monetizing most of the content, right? Some of the most amazing stories that are monetized are by the 0.01% of creators. But what we do is we do two things. We enable the 99% of creators to be able to tell various formats of stories, and we work with some of the biggest brands that are out there to be able to make sure that these creators can monetize without building followers and without getting massive views. And I'm really, really excited to be here today. And I have some we had the biggest week of the year. So I would
You
talk
see, you
about that
couldn't, you
later.
couldn't stop, you couldn't stop yourself, was it? Because it
I
just felt,
I had to.
it felt
It's just
so good.
almost there. Yeah.
Right? It's so good to see. Like last week was Stash Week.
Really?
Yeah, Stash Week, where actually people grow the most awesome mustaches ever, which you would obviously win, but then they shave them all for charity, which you would obviously lose.
I well, I have a funny story to say. I just came back from Egypt, and when in the security I was being checked for the first time in my life. They checked my mustache like this, and I was like, "It's not that big, no." Yeah.
There could be animals in there or something.
Yeah, they go, I'm like, what? That's 60 people laughing at me. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny.
So
Yeah.
if you're not watching this on YouTube and you're listening, you won't get this, but it is funny and it is awesome. It's great to have you here, man. You know what? Listen, I was going to go to Kirill. I'm going to go to Kirill next, right? For you first, hit us with the big news. What happened last week?
Well, one of the biggest Indian states adopted a creator economy model for the whole health system that they have for tuberculosis. Samsung just played out their first story, which was actually made by using our tool, which about 8 of our creators made in Korea. So if you're in the advertising agency, it's a massive deal that they publish something from which is not from Korea, and it's Samsung's hubs, and they put it out there. Beyond that, we hit 50,000 creators. Everything just happened all in one go, and it's been a huge week for us. Yeah.
50,000 creators is huge. So that is for everybody listening, and Tamsil is still on. So 50,000 people who are now registered on the platform. What are those people doing?
They mainly tell their stories. There are two kinds of people. One are filmmakers and storytellers, and the second are people who are for the first time learning how to use their mobile phone, and they end up making videos which actually beat some of the biggest media and mainstream media channels like BBC and Quint, which is an Indian channel, but like really beat them from creating stories and get a lot of awards. Uh, just about 2 weeks ago, we won India's largest gender award, which was done by 4 of our creators for the first time, that they actually entered college with that story documentary, which has won so many awards. But yeah, I think I'm missing one thing.
So
I'm so
two
sorry,
things.
Brian.
You
I
did two. Go on.
missed a big thing.
What was the big thing?
Okay, are you ready for this?
Uh-huh.
The International Film Festival that actually happens in Goa. I don't know how I missed it.
You're gonna do 3 at the same time.
I'm so sorry. This has been a crazy week.
Okay, go on. Hit us. Go on. 3 at the same time. God, that's so unfair, but go on.
Out of the 2,000 platforms that are there in India on video, out of the 8 companies selected, they were like, we were one of them to showcase it to some of the biggest filmmakers and producers who are just going nuts over the platform. And for the first time, we have brands. I mean, our creators are putting up social videos all the time, like thousands of them, but brands are putting up how our tool has simplified their work. And we have these film producers just joining our platform like crazy. So yeah, I had a great birthday, which was yesterday. So
isn't it beautiful? And look, so yeah, this is just awesome. And that's something. The great thing about this is like it's a bit of fun, but everybody's so happy for everybody else when they do really well. I love the essence of what you're bringing to the world. Like we know that that media is manipulated on a huge way, on huge level. We know that like anything I might say about venture capital is exactly the same in videos and media, where like the ones that people want to be at the top of whatever algorithm is there are the ones that are pushed to the top. But you are supporting real stories from real people that are changing the world, and they're sharing their stories on social media. And you've got 50,000 of those people that are doing that. So congratulations. Amazing work. Amazing to get 50,000. Amazing to be up there at the Creator Week. And just great work. I like it. Okay, good stuff, Tamsil. Tamsil's frozen a little bit, but that's okay because we were just moving over to Kirill anyway. Kirill, what have you got, buddy?
So we made 2 signature contracts basically the week before, just the last week and a few weeks before that. One is which will bring us 1 million euros as gross profit over the next year. Another one will be bringing us another million. So we are like already 10 times bigger than last year, only with those 2 deals. Good stuff is that it's UK company. And with that UK company, our technology will be the first UK government certified smart charger. Recently, they released a new legislation which requires the charger to be XYZ. We actually have XYZ plus to that, and we're making that technology available to them. So our technology will be like first in a line on the UK market, and the UK market is big from e-mobility perspective.
Wow.
So
is this just fun for me, or is it fun for everybody? Like not one contract for $1 million, 2 contracts for $1 million. and you got one over in the UK, which is great. How did you get the contracts? Just share with us like what you did, because I think for when we do these type of things, it sounds like, oh my gosh, this is so easy, but it's not. It's so friggin' hard. It's like all Morgan Freeman, like everybody's an overnight success at the age of 50, right? But those first 50 years were tough. So talk to us about like how did you get the two contracts, and what were the are there any good stories behind it?
One is accident, another one is accident, but it's an accident because we just came across the companies who were our ideal customers, in the sense they wanted exactly what we have and nobody else were able to provide it. So with one contract, we actually beaten Siemens, Phoenix, Schneider, and all of those guys, because the CEO of our customer told, I even don't want to start working with them because they're too slow and they cannot get what I want. I need a smartest charger customized for my brand. End of story.
Wow.
Nobody can do that. Actually, on this market, nobody literally can produce a customized microelectronics for the chargers, keep the quality up, cost down, and make it within 1 or 2 months. Just
Wow.
there is nobody on this planet. Just nobody. Just us.
I love it. That's what it's all about. And it's the hard work. And like you and me have known each other for a little while. And I've seen like the effort and the hard work and the grit and the determination, like all the way from the very beginning where you believed, but you were building it and you were putting it together. And you're like, it's going to be important. It's going to be important. It's going to be important. And now you come out the other side and everybody's like, oh my gosh, this is really important. And you're like, what the friggin' hell do you think I've been telling you for the last 2 years? So congratulations. Awesome, awesome, awesome news. I love that they're throwing some money behind this and that you've got these two incredible things, because the 1 million, I'm guessing, is just a drop in the bucket for what can come afterwards.
The second contract, the good part of that, another accident, we came across the company. Initially, they rejected us, saying, yeah, we are thinking about DC, blah, 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 DC, high power, blah, blah, blah. Then they realized that everybody is asking for an AC private charger, which we were focusing at the initial stage, because we knew that charging is about your home charger, your garage charger, your company charger, your hotel charger. It's not DC on the street. And they picked up the customer who wanted the charger, which should be the cheapest and the smartest in Europe. And we made it. So our technology win in terms of the cost, the Chinese product. So we are European smart and we are cost efficient, more cost efficient than Chinese guys. So just
I love it. I love it. And it's good to see that Italy are performing so much better in EV charging than in football right now. Excellent job.
Yeah, looks like it. So these two signature contracts put us like in a big game, because we immediately unlocked our third functionality, which is grid balancing, because
hold that thought. Hang on, hold that, because I'm going to come back to you, because there's more. This is not a one and done. I want more and more good news as we go around that. Okay, I'm going over to Maria over at Black Copper. What have you got? You already hit us with the 4.5 million. So tell us like special things. You can mention the 4.5 you want, because it's pretty good. But like, what else have you got that's happening?
Yeah. I mean, so amazingly, right? I was just checking the dashboards again. This week we crossed 220,000 users. And that is super amazing for us. Which means that we have doubled the number of users we acquired last year. Last year we did a little over 100,000. This year we've done 120,000 already. And we're not just at 4.5, we're at 5 million US right now in loans disbursed.
How did you do that?
Direct marketing, like partnerships, digital ads. Those have been our three main pillars. So we look for clusters where we find the small businesses and small business owners, and we engage them. We throw in our APIs on different platforms for people to be able to take a loan from a payment gateway, from from market associations, and then we throw our APIs in there. We throw our loans in there. People are able to get it. We do SMS marketing. We're able to reach out to them directly on their devices and ask them to download the app and then just disburse the loans to them.
And that's the thing. It's aggressive outbound marketing that is the difference
Absolutely.
between folks breaking through to that Series A round 6 or 12 months beforehand and investors, everybody listening. That's all you care about. What you care about is making sure that whatever investment that you're making a pre-seed seed is an investment that can get to Series A as quickly as it possibly can. Because when it gets to Series A, somebody who's putting a lot more money in is going to be taking on your risk like it's wonderful. Suddenly, somebody has $5 or $10 million to lose. So you know that person is only making that bet on the principle that they can get a 20 times return. So you are in the
Correct.
money. So talk me through just on that principle. How do you see that road to Series A from where you are right now? You have a ton of users. You've obviously nailed the marketing channel. Like, what do you do
Right.
now going forward as far as like spend and getting to that number? And what does that number look like for Series A? And for everybody listening, right, just in case this is delayed coming out, we're in December 2022. So we're talking about like what happens next.
That's really great. For us, it's very straight on from here. We want to double down on our revenues. Currently, we are at around 1.2 million US annual recurring. We think by the end of the year to set us up for Series A, we want to be at 3.6, which is be like three times what we've done this year. We have the requests, we have the customers, we have the data, we have the marketing all sorted. The missing piece is enough capital, enough lending capital to take us over that line. And we're already putting stakes in the fire to get that capital out for us as well. But we think that if we get $5 million in venture debt today, we will get $3 million in 6 months. 6 months we'll get $3 million in revenue in 6 months, right? So it's that's the work that we're doing now. We've already built out the algorithm, we've perfected it, right, over the past 2 years with different models that we've built out, and now we know what works, we know what doesn't work, we know which customers are great, we know where to find them and how to continue to increase that. Now we just want to bring on more capacity to support more of these small business owners.
Amazing. Fantastic. And then, so I'm going to come back to you for more because I love the focus on what you're doing and what you're building. We've now hit the 4.5 million in the revenue. We've hit the hundreds of thousands of users that you're getting, the marketing channels that you're getting, and the fact that we can get to a Series A within the next 6 to 9 months, just based on actually having what needs to be delivered to the customers that are already coming. It's a
Absolutely.
it's a Good Friday, isn't it? Isn't it a Good Friday? Like
Yeah,
this is
great Friday.
okay, Sam, what have you got, buddy?
Well, what we've got is the big news is that we just completed our biggest contract ever with the National Broadcaster of Malaysia, RTM, and it applied our software across 16 sites total, 14 regional sites, a headquarters, and the cloud. And what they're using it for is to coordinate all of the new media coming into those sites for their regional and news organization, and essentially figure out what was said, make it searchable, make it reusable, and searchable across all the regions, including the headquarters and the cloud. So essentially, they can log in one place and figure out what they have about a given topic or a given person, because our software is searching who's in the video, what they said, even things like what objects and logos are in the video, and giving that ability across all the sites. So that was a $360,000 contract.
Well,
And
actually, Sam, just on
yeah,
even more important, almost than the money. I can't even believe I'm saying those words, but like even more important than that is like how would you, if you had to create an equivalent in the US size organization, like what name would you use of what organization?
you'd be talking about some of the major broadcasters here, but you know,
Right.
there are also regional broadcasters like Tegna and stuff like that. But mostly it's like NBC, ABC. This is like the
Okay, so
NBC of
yeah,
Malaysia.
I want to just paint that picture for a second. So we're talking like, an ABC, a Fox News, a huge media conglomerate who is
Yeah,
trusting Axel AI to be able to source and find all points of video that they have throughout their entire network in the future. Like
yeah,
just the enormity of what you've just said there is so huge. Because I know you've got huge clients, like you've got BuzzFeed, you've got a bunch of other folks that are huge clients that use you. Like
yeah.
Axel already are doing $1 million plus a year. I mean, just before this, I was saying to Sam, I truly believe that if we really hit the digital marketing, we can do like $3 million in revenue because everybody needs they all need this. And as more and more customers come on board and stay as they do, then we democratize it more and more for even the lower level videos. So we can provide a service that everybody. But I wanted to just draw like a massive line underneath it and put it in bold the fact that a huge media empire trusting you with all of the sourcing and detailing of their video is just monster,
Super exciting.
right? And I'm not exaggerating. I mean, it's that big, right?
It is that big. And what's cool about our product, though, is that it also scales down. So we have small documentary teams. We have people that follow around one athlete or one church pastor or one politician that use it the same way. The original vision for the company was to help those people, teams, 3 or 5 people. And it's only recently that the product has kind of grown up in stature and scalability to where these bigger organizations can start to take advantage of it. They've never really had something like this. And especially coming off of COVID, what was interesting about COVID in our industry, in the media industry, is that before COVID, they had some very antiquated techniques, handing each other hard drives, working at adjacent desks so that they could be on a high-speed network. And then, of course, during COVID, all that got blown away. Nobody was sitting at adjacent desks. They were all working from home. And they all had to kind of reinvent how they worked, but in a very improvised way. And what's happening now is they're coming back from that. They're looking at all the stuff they used to do and saying, well, we got to catalog and manage all that legacy material. Then we've got all the stuff we just put in the cloud, and our software handles both. So it's really pretty unique in its ability to handle both cloud content and on-premise content and give them one pane of glass, if you will, to search across all of that information and find what they
Yeah.
need.
Very good. And look, fun fact is that in the not too distant future, a major political party also used Axel AI to be able to find specific words that other parties may have been saying, like maybe words like swamp or things just like that.
Things like that. Absolutely.
Fun fact is that the other political party
Was also
also
using
used.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like it's good when you know in the dirtiest possible game on the planet will use your software to get a competitive edge. You know you have a great company. But that's brilliant, Sam. I'm delighted with that. That's really awesome. It's huge. It's like
Thanks.
like you already have monster companies, but it's such a step up to get a broadcaster to actually start have this one of their official things. So well done. I like it. And then let's bring up Katya, and then after that, we're going to go to Sam, and then it'll be open source. Everybody just like whatever you got, throw your hand up, shout it out, and then let's just see if we've got any more good news on top of it. Katya, what you got? I know you got loads of great things happening.
Yeah, happy to join the good news wagon. So we're in the B2B SaaS. So as all investors listening know, go-to-market sales cycles are long, tedious. What have we done? We've been strategic in our go-to-market process. So we've attended all the great major conferences in our industry. That's human capital management, so HR Tech, Gartner's, been invited to Lisbon, obviously to Web Summit. What has that brought us? Not only client acquisition, but it's also brought us strategic partnerships. And one of those that I'm really proud of has been the relationship that we've crafted over the past year with Tata Consulting Services. Most of you will have heard of this Indian conglomerate, one of the largest companies in the world, Tata. They have a consulting arm where they actually recommend software to leading companies, Forbes 500 companies who don't want to deal with the implementation themselves, or also the recommendations. So they have or supply technology such as Workday, SAP, Oracle, you name it. And now they also added Viveka to their portfolio. So they're an official service implementation partner of ours. It's a huge progress. They've introduced us to Uber, to Interglobe, to Fly Dubai, to Tesco. We're in the sales cycles with all of these. This sales pipeline is over $50 million alone. Yes, we're talking about some huge whales. We've also got some smaller companies. In Q1 alone, we've got contracts coming in the value of 1.3 million. So that's really happy about that. We're talking to Portugal Telecom, Viatel Ireland, Transfero in Brazil. So truly global setup, and really leading cutting edge companies as well that are looking to implement our software.
They all sound awesome. I love that you threw an Irish company in there beside Tata.
Just to balance it out.
It's not. I feel like you did that for me, but I appreciate it. I appreciate you threw a little Irish company in there, so I love it. But Tata
another
are a
big story.
monster. Go
Tata's
on.
a monster. And so recently Deloitte, who's really the industry leader, Deloitte Ventures reached out to us last week. They're interested in not only investing, but a 360-degree relationship. We'll see how that unfolds. You know, it's a little bit early, but the fact that they've reached out to us, and they would be our dream venture partner. Absolutely.
Yeah, huge. Tata and Deloitte. And that's the way, like when you break in and you're trying to get into the largest organizations in the world, you need to make sure that you're partnered with the most respected organizations in the world. And the fact that you've managed to dig in so deep with these companies and get yourself as an official partner with them is just incredible. So yeah, 2023 is going to be huge.
Skyrocket, Brian. And we've
Yeah.
also created a phenomenal advisory board. So we've got some industry leaders. So part of the networking was also that we're now in partnership with HRO Today, which is one of the biggest publications in our field in the US. We're partnering with SHL, which is one of the largest psychometric assessment companies in the US. And so we're really seeking out value chain providers that are affiliated with us and who have talent as their target group, but they're in a different value chain. So talent acquisition partners, we come into talent management, and then and also outplacement. So anybody in that value chain is a great partner of ours.
Yeah, and you got okay. We're just going to throw in because Tom still started it off with like in threes. So also investors coming into the round, huge right now. I met one of your investors last week. Guy is an absolute diamond. Exited out of a $200+ million company very recently. Soul to the earth human being. More importantly, huge in the HR space. Understands the industry like the back of his hand. Most of the companies that have come up are also going to be clients or potential clients of yours as well. That's what's called real smart money. You know, when some folks say to me, "Oh, I want to get a VC who can help me strategically." VCs generally we're dumb, right? So we can't help strategically. Like it's just not a thing. We just pretend to, right? What you want is people who can directly help bring you to the money, the real money, the revenue money. So I love your choice of investors and how careful you are making sure that you bring the ones in who are going to help drive the bottom line revenue first. Absolutely genius.
And that gentleman also just joined our advisory board, which is phenomenal. And
Of course.
yes.
I would lock him in a room and not let him leave. Yeah, that's how we roll. Awesome. Thanks, Katja. Well done.
Thank you, Brian.
Killing it, killing it, killing it. Sam, you got good news. You got loads of good news too. Everybody's got news. Everybody can do better than everybody because everybody's doing so friggin' well that the bar just keeps rising and rising. Hit us with some of the stuff which is awesome that I already know because it's so cool.
Super excited that we got a contract starting with the Department of Defense, and we're
Say it
looking.
slowly though. Say it slowly. Because the thing is, it's such good news. Like the Department of Defense, like in the movie properly, because it's literally the hardest thing to get, Sam. Like nobody gets contracts with the Department of Defense. You got to go years to even get an interview, and you're saying it like you're buying an ice cream on a hot Saturday afternoon. It's
Yeah,
big.
thank you. Yeah, it's a huge deal, and really, really excited about this opportunity. As well, the biggest excitement is we got a contract with the UN, so which is amazing, and that opens us up to 60 financial institutions, both in private sector banks and also central banks as well. So it's massive for us. So next year definitely is going to be a whirlwind of things. And one of my advisors is also introducing me to a number of big organizations, but I'm going to hold off on that till once those are finalized. So yeah.
Well, I think Department of Defense in United Nations is just it's showing off. Okay, fine.
Thank you.
This is a family show. Come on, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Okay, rapid fire. Sam, I got nothing else to add. Like, come on, I got nothing else to add. It's amazing. Like, you're killing it for crying out loud. Partner Defense in the United Nations, ridiculous. Okay, so everybody else, what else have we got? Anything from anyone? Good stuff that we haven't mentioned already. Last 10 minutes, hit me with anything at all, whatever you have. You haven't hit me with some good stuff, but I feel like there's more.
I've got something which is
okay.
All right. Eon Productions, the company that makes the James Bond movies, is now using Axel for their marketing materials. So that's pretty exciting. And kind of a high profile win, you know. Hey, we'll take it.
Really? That's awesome. Do we get into I was going to say you for a second there. Do we get into one of the premieres maybe? Next Bond movie?
I'd have to work on that. I don't know. I haven't, you know, we're not working it on that angle yet, but
it is
let's see what we can do.
legit though. Like I don't even know how you prospect because so many organizations can need you for so many different things. Like you got National Broadcaster folks, you've got like the guys who are doing James Bond stuff. Like it's everybody,
No,
right?
it's pretty wild. We have people like you know, Club Brugge, which is the top soccer team in Belgium. They're using our software. We have mega churches here in the US. We have big brands like Reebok and Coca-Cola. It's everywhere. Because the cool thing about video is it used to be highly concentrated in the big broadcasters, in the movie studios. But now everybody uses it. We've all got phones. Everybody's out shooting stuff. The whole creator economy, obviously, that Temsil is benefiting from. That same economy is also creating companies and teams that need to manage larger amounts of material. And it's you know, it's pretty awesome, really, the diversity of places that are using the software, and that diversity is only growing.
I love it. And I'm glad you and Tamsil are here actually, because I can see you guys being partners in the future. And you may have something to say, Tamsil, but firstly, I'll throw it over to Katya. Katya, what you got? James Bond, that's hard to beat.
Yeah, can't compete with James Bond. But we are presenting, we got invited from one of our partners from HRO Today to present at their quarterly meeting. And so why is this so significant? Because they're only talking to the CHROs, leading CHROs of US companies. So it's a very tight-knit group of 40 CHROs. It's a think tank, and they've given us 30 to 40 minutes time to present Viveka as really the solution that's revolutionizing the training and skilling and well-being within companies. So it's a true honor, and we're ecstatic about it. It's so much exposure.
That is legendary. And just before I go over to Kirill, I just want to add on top of that, like every single thing about being in the early stage startup space is being able to elevate onto the world stage, to be alongside people who've been in the industry for like 30, 40 years. It's everything. It's actually the hardest road to take, but it's the shortest road in the long term. But it's brutal at the beginning, and you are busting through on every single level. Well done. That is killer. Thanks, Katya. Ariel, what you got?
So I was saying, I was trying to say.
Stop. I stopped you because you had too much.
Yeah, we with the recent development of our technology and the contracts, we unlocked a third level of our revenue stream, which is at the moment is 0, which is a monetization on the energy sector. Grid services, frequency management, the guys who knows will understand. And we will be sitting on the energy consumption of electrical vehicles, which is the largest energy consumer of the household. But plus we add solar panels, battery banks, heating system. And because at the end of the game, all gas consumption, natural gas, benzene, diesel will go electric. And our technology will be managing that. So with our potential, we are not talking about some money from the development or licensing or stuff like that, our existing current stream. We're talking about revenue of fuel and benzene companies. So the companies which are distributors of the fuel for houses and for the cars. So that money will be managed by our system in the form of electricity.
Wow.
So that's definitely not next year, but the year after it will start.
Amazing. So in many ways, you become the Apple Store for the
For
apps that
energy.
really become the energy, right? For all energy as it becomes, that's proper like Austin Powers. That's like control of the world. Well done, Kirill. I don't know how you don't smile more though, man. It's awesome, right? It's like, it's because, yeah, we do this every day.
Yeah, we do that every day.
That's brilliant. Yeah, it is actually, it's so smart because it moves you from being the best provider. I remember I had a call like so many years ago, a fellow called Tom Siebel, and he did Siebel Systems right at the beginning. And he was it was right at the very, very, very start when he was launching stuff out. And he's like, I know 3 things. Because I was asking him, why do you need to do this thing so quickly? And he's saying, I have the cheapest system on the market today. I have the best system on the market today, and somebody else will have the cheapest and the best system on the market in 2 years' time. So I need to get there today so I can make sure that my cheapest and best, or my cheapest, our best, remains constant because we keep on improving going forward. So what's so clever about what you're saying is, hey, we got the best system on the market today, but you think we want to keep on going into the boxing ring as we get older and older and older, and it's harder and harder and harder. No, no, no. We're going to control the operating system so that we can bring in partners, and then we can all become one in creating the greatest energy system the world has ever seen. Am I wrong?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's actually so amazing. It's the first time you've shared it with me, and I absolutely love it. I mean, I kind of always hoped it would go there, but it's one thing is hoping, another thing is like being able to do it because it's so huge. But well done, amazing, amazing, amazing. Well done, Sam. What you got?
So we're in early talks with NATO at this point,
Ridiculous. Get off
and
this call, will you? NATO, United
yeah,
Nations. What?
so really, really excited. Keeping fingers crossed. We're part of their procurement system, so we've been accepted. We went through the whole process to get the security clearance for that. So super excited, and been also speaking to a number of Fortune 500, Fortune 10 CIOs and CTOs, and we've now been asked for quotes from some of them. So really excited, hoping to win them. Fingers crossed.
Do you know Madonna? I feel like you probably should, right? Because you know everybody else and you're working with them. So I always
I wish I knew Madonna.
I always wanted to meet Madonna, and I'm kind of guessing since
I went
you're
to her
like
concert.
every other major institution in the world you're an official partner of, then she should know you too. That's incredible. Like NATO, tell me something. Here's what I'd like to know, right? And then I'm going to leave it open for the last one. Whoever wants to come in with the last one to throw on top. I think Tamsil, you just won, right? So okay, so Sam, like just tell us before we go to Tamsil. But Tamsil, like loads of pressure on you, dude. You just like took the last. You feel good. You feel good. Okay, cool. So Sam, like, how do you do this? Like, how do you get large organizations to actually even pick up the phone? And I say this not even with humility. Like if I called them, they would hang up on me as a spam call, right? So the fact that you got through to them, you've got them to agree with you, partner with you, and potentially pay you money, stroke already paying you money, is ridiculous. And again, to repeat, we're talking Ministry of Defense, we're talking United Nations, and we're talking NATO. Like it's ridiculous. So give us just a minute on how you've done this.
It's been a long process, so it's not something that happens overnight, but because both my co-founder and I worked for the Canadian government, and I used to be a senior advisor for prime ministers and ministers, so that helped, and the security clearance helped, of course. And then it's just going through, because governments, as you can imagine, is quite massive, and then international organizations are even more. But really networking and just getting your name out there, and having the security clearance and having worked in government just helped. I think that was the backgrounder for that.
So just being badass helps you hang out with badass people. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Obvious, Brian. Thank you, Sam. Well done.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Amazing. Tamsil.
Well, so one of the, Brian, I mean, last time we talked, I was trying to work out ways to get into the Middle Eastern market and UK market. And one of the biggest things that has happened for us, literally about last week again, is that we crossed the amount of revenue we did last year, which is like a big deal for us because we actually started working on newer markets and completely newer brands who would actually test out the creator economy for the first time. And we just hired a first person in Dubai. We potentially hiring a first person in Saudi Arabia, where literally completely newer types of brands are going to start testing out Plug TV. And if for a lot of you who don't know, but India still has about 4 months to end the financial year, and we are really inching closer to our first million, which is something which I'm really, really excited about. I can't reveal a lot of names, but our UK market and UK partners have become super strong. And Dubai, these are two big wins that we've been able to do as venturing Plug out of just India, which is Make in India, and really, really focusing on getting the tool out there. And it's really amazing how people are adopting the creator economy there. And what's even more interesting is to see how what we were doing 3 years ago, they're just about to start to do it. And it's such a beautiful thing. We're going in like pros there. So yeah, that's pretty much one of the big things that I just wanted to do. I'm pretty sure you'll be happy because our go-to market has completely shifted and it's become super, super fast in that way. Yeah.
I love it. Listen, you know me, I'm a revenue and growth freak. But what I love the most is like we started the call with just beautifulness and we finish it with beautifulness as well. Like this is all about bringing incredible creativity that we get to the world and that we're incredibly successful in making sure it happens, because otherwise we're all way too talented to be wasting our time on doing anything else. So everybody here is doing incredible. All investors who are watching this, and we're going to be sending it out to all of you, email me, Brian at expertdojo.com. I can arrange appointments and meetings with anybody that you would like to meet. And then for other folks, even if you maybe that the company's not in your area, your district, or your category that you invest in, you see what they're doing, you're seeing what they're building, you do know other investors that are directly engaged in this space. Do the right thing, pass on a bit of good karma and pass them over to those investors. And I mean, pass on the good karma to the other investors, not even to the startups, because all these folks are badass. Everybody, thank you. You're all awesome. It's great. I feel richer already today. Thank you all. That's a wrap.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thank
Really
you.
enjoyed it.
Have a
Bye. Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thanks, guys.